What has become our spin-off to the JTT update has been the Gaoteote. I gave it a shot.
Kev Dog, you got that.
Everybody, the player that has become known as the USC linebacker.
Palaie Gaoteote.
Good job.
Or just call him EA. Just call him EA.
EA. I have heard nothing in that regard this week in the 7 days or 9 days since we last did the show. And I don't know what he's waiting on. As we've talked about, Ohio State starts a session this week. They start another session in late June. So, maybe between now and then, if he's coming to Ohio State, maybe he'll figure that out. I don't know. But I've heard nothing. Mum is the word right now for that.
I've been told not to lose the faith in it, but that both sides are still doing their due diligence. At no point have I been told it's absolutely happening. At no point have I been told just cross it off the list. I've just been told things are encouraging there and that both parties are working toward an end, but just to be patient.
It's about relationships, it's about feel, it's about where you feel comfortable and that sort of thing, but it's also an evaluation of what that particular program, of course, can do for you. Now, Texas is an amazing, I'm not going to say program because they haven't been for 10 or 12 years, but a resource, a brand name, an image, all that. But to go to Ohio State at a position of need, as a former 5-star, I would think that would be extremely attractive where you could be a guy that could make a difference for a team that has a legitimate chance to win a national championship.
Yeah, but the thing is, Ohio State doesn't have really much in the way of returning snaps coming back at the position. But, does EA come in? And, he certainly fits certain needs, but he's not a 65, 70 play type of guy in my book. I think that, I think he's part of, 4 guys to play 3 spot situation. And, I'm sure other schools could probably promise him more playing time. I don't know if there are not many other teams out there that can promise him more wins or more chances at a ring. But, if your goal is to get to the league, do you want to sit? It's a fine line. Do you want to play 75 plays where you're having to make every play because you don't have much around you, or are you going to be able to achieve that goal, seeing on average maybe 30 snaps with a lot around you, and people saying, well, he disappeared. Well, it's because you're not having to go out. If you don't have to go out there and be the best player on the field just out of sheer survival. You do run the risk of disappearing. So, there's a lot that he has to figure out there. But, I think Ohio State has to figure out a lot as well. Every time you go to the portal, you got to figure out what that means for your current locker room, for the current position, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. While EA wouldn't be somebody that would be in Columbus for years and years, what do those types of moves mean in terms of recruiting? I go back to Eli Ricks. If Eli Ricks would have entered the portal from LSU, the cornerback, that certainly would have had a direct impact because he had a couple years left, a direct impact on what Ohio State was going to be able to do in terms of the recruiting trail. So, there certainly are ripples and then ripples of ripples that happen when you look at these types of moves. So, you're not going to operate all of a sudden and be like, yes, we're done. There are not a lot of Justin Fields situations that just materialize.
Yeah, I think the opportunity is there for EA to come in and be a difference maker right away. I think in his mind is, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go that's going to put me in the NFL the highest way I can be drafted and the quickest way I can be drafted? And I think those are the 2 questions that he's probably pondering through, although he's been through the ringer a little bit with some injuries and different things. So he's probably in some regards, just trying to make sure that he's healthy. So, I guess there's a lot to unpack there, and he would definitely, bottom line, he's at Ohio State. But again, they felt they needed help. They went after Henry 2020, and that didn't work out. And now they're kind of doing this dance with EA. And, is he coming? Is he not coming? We just don't know yet. So, we'll just wait and see. That's all you can do at this point. And it's all going to work out one way or the other. Ohio State's going to be right there in the mix once again, or according to Lindy's, maybe they won't be in the mix. I don't know.